Hello and welcome to the Crystal Lightworkers podcast. In this series, Crystals and the Subtle Energy of Life, we'll explore subtle energy, crystals, and how they interact with your personal field of energy. This is the first podcast in a series of 10, exploring all aspects of crystals and the subtle realm of energy that we experience in life. I will be discussing my findings over the 40 years of interacting with crystals and offer them to you to try and find your definition of what the crystals can offer you. I'm your host, Jackie Winters, and today we begin a foundational question. What exactly is subtle energy, and why does it matter to the way we live, feel, and connect? If you've ever held a crystal and felt a sense of warm, calm, tingling, or simply an unexplained shift, you've already brushed up against this subtle energy. So let's begin. Subtle energy is one of those phrases that sounds mystical, but in truth, it's simply referring to the life force that animates everything. Different cultures have different names for it. Qi or qi, spelt Qi or Chi in Chinese medicine, prana in Ayurveda, ki spelt Ki in Reiki, the aura in metaphysical terminology, and even biofield in emerging scientific discussions. So these are all the terminologies that are used to describe the same thing. No matter what the label is, subtle energy is essentially the vibrational blueprint of your physical, emotional, mental, and astral state of being. Put it simply, your body is not just physical. You are an energetic being. You're continuously sending, receiving, and exchanging energy within the space around of you. For example, if you walk into a room where two people have just argued, you can often quite easily feel the tension in the atmosphere, even though nobody's said anything. Another example might be that if you meet someone with a bright, uplifting presence, they seem to light up the room. Or you may listen to a piece of music and notice that your mood changes instantly depending on what music you're listening to. All of this is in the non-visible range, yet it's all very, very real. And this is the subtle energy in action. And this, in the landscape of which crystals operate, not through physically holding the crystal, but through resonance, coherence, and vibrational influence, is great if you can understand subtle energy and how it works. Because when we understand subtle energy, we understand why crystals work. It's not a magic, but a harmonizer within an already energetic world, a world that is actually a field of energy vibrating at varying frequencies, creating unique individual realities dependent upon the signals that we as individuals are emitting. Why does subtle energy matter? Subtle energy affects every layer of your life, often far more than you realize. Your emotional state is energetic. Emotions are frequencies. Joy feels light and expansive. Stress feels contracted and heavy. Using crystals, they will help stabilize frequencies and can disperse emotional static and restore clarity. So if you're the type of person who's an empath and you feel what other people are feeling, then sometimes this can be that you are in resonance with somebody when you don't want to be in resonance with them. It's fine being in resonance with somebody who's happy and joyful, but when somebody is stressed and their energy is contracted and you become in resonance with that, then it can be disturbing and take you away from your own center line of alignment. So When we work with crystals and we understand what's happening, we can utilize this knowledge and use crystals to help restore your own harmonic field. Your thoughts carry energy as well. A cluttered mind isn't just a mental experience, it has an energetic footprint. Overthinking, worry, and mental loops can create mental fog. Do you understand what a mental loop is? A mental loop is when the back of your mind is reminding you of all the jobs that you consider are important to get done to you in a time frame. So it may be that your mind is, I mustn't forget this, and I mustn't forget that, and I must do this, and I must do that. And they're not necessarily going on at the forefront of your mind, maybe at the back of your mind. And so therefore you're not relaxing fully. And quite often a lot of physicians and doctors are now saying that mental loops drain your energy more so than physical activity. So when you're running for a long way, you become tired, but tired in a different way. Mental loops create a tired that makes you want to sleep to replenish your energy, but not from physical exhaustion, from mental exhaustion. Your emotional energy and your environment also affect your energy. Wi-Fi signals can affect your energy. Emotions of people around you, as we have just discussed. And your energy is constantly adjusting. So how you feel in one moment is going to change in the next. Placing crystals in your home isn't just about decoration. It's about energetically architecture and how shaping a space that supports peace, clarity, and well-being. And when you know which crystals to choose, where to place them, and how to do this, you'll find that your home will become far more peaceful and far more in tune with harmony. Subtle energy determines how you feel physically. Have you noticed how stress tightens your shoulders? Or how emotional pain can sit in your chest? Or it might just be a tight shoulder and emotion sitting in your chest and you haven't placed awareness on it. It's just become so part of you that the body's reaction to what is happening is an automated one and you have no physical, mental awareness of what is happening. When your shoulders tighten and the emotion sits in your chest, it creates congestion, which will eventually affect a physical reality. Supporting subtle energy often prevents discomfort before it manifests physically. And I like to think of crystals as helping us to recognize what's happening in those subtle realms so we can avoid or clear or purify or release that energy before it affects our body. And hopefully through maintaining wellness, maintaining awareness, staying relaxed and harmonized and putting everything into practice, you will avoid having physical illness. Subtle energy connects you to your intuition and your inner guidance. Your intuition speaks to you through subtle shifts, a nudge, a knowing, a sense that something is right or wrong. The body is in constant communication with you, not necessarily verbally, but it will draw your attention. Don't just dismiss it. If your body is drawing your attention to a certain area of your body, then just sit with your awareness on that area of your body, in the energy that your body is drawing your attention to. And just be at peace with it. Just sit with it and see what your body is showing you. Don't look for it, just be with it. There's no doing necessary when you're working in the subtle energy realms. Crystals can also amplify this communication of your body. So if you're not listening and your body goes from a simple, ooh, I've got a bit of an ache there, to, oh, that's gone into a pain. And then if you really aren't listening, oh my goodness, this is so painful. So by recognizing the messages that your body is drawing your attention to and clearly listening and sitting and being with it and having no doing involved, you can use crystals to amplify your connection to your body. And this helps you to tune in more deeply to what is happening and allowing the sensation to produce the reaction that it needs to have the awareness that it needs, and then eventually to dissolve when harmony is restored. So let's look at the human energy field. To understand how crystals interact with you, it helps to visualize your energy field. Imagine a soft, luminous sphere around your body, extending roughly an arm's length in all directions around you. And this is what is commonly referred to as your aura. It has layers. It has a physical layer, which reflects the metabolic vitality within your body, what you eat, what you drink, how your body is dealing with life. You have an emotional layer that responds to moods and feelings, reacts to everyday experiences. You have a mental layer, and the mental layer is shaped by your beliefs and your thoughts. And if you can open your mind enough to relax, push through any belief systems and know there are limitless possibilities, and that you may have been incorrectly programmed to believe certain things that maybe aren't helping you to the highest and purest level of your harmonic resonance within this world. Then we go into the spiritual layers. We have a higher heart. When we relax through our mind, we still have awareness, but awareness of nothing, a stillness, a purity, a harmony. And this is where we want to anchor our awareness. So we're receiving heart-based wisdom past the mental layer. And then we can, if we take our awareness further afield from the mental layer, the higher heart, and then we move eventually into the layer that is the causal layer, the reason that you're having all these experiences. So when somebody says to you that you have the answers to everything, you certainly do. But you have to be able to quieten the mind, harmonize the emotions, relax the body to access that subtle vibratory frequency that is in your auric field, resonating to the karmic influence of the situations and life events that you are experiencing. And when I say karmic, I don't mean you've done something wrong and you've got to pay it back. I mean, the reason you're experiencing life events is so that your soul can have an understanding and integration of a spiritual lesson. And when you go into the karmic subtle energy, you can digest what that is, as long as you don't have any mental chatter going. Because the digestion of what is happening for you is going probably to come through in knowings, not thinking. So quite often when you're in the auric field of the karmic layer, the communication is through deep knowings. And then you move out even further and you go then to the celestial realms. And this is often referred to as your guardian angel, the highest aspect of who you are. And many New Age speakers talk about connecting to your higher self. And this is where your higher self is again. But once again, you have to relax your physical body enough to get through your emotional level, to get past and silence the mind, to get through the karmic layer, then go past everything to get out into the celestial layer. Now, when you get in the celestial layer, this is a beautiful experience. But if you're using crystals, particularly like phenakite and a lot of the high vibration crystals, it can leave you feeling very spaced and very not earthed. So it isn't possible to live in the celestial layers when you're having a human experience, because you'll lose touch with the earth. And that's not the reason for incarnation. The reason is we touch the celestial layer and we bring it back down through the right layers so that we can manifest that celestial energy here in our earth experience. Some might want to call it bringing heaven down to earth. So all of these layers that we've just spoken about, they hold memories. So your emotional layer, it has a memory bank. So if you've been through trauma in your life, you might need to spend time clearing that emotional trauma. Your mind has a memory, as we know, and can store hurts. It can store trauma from the past and experiences from the past and put them to bed at the back of your mind. And you have to, if you can, be willing to let go of those memories of traumatic times or beliefs or whatever. Your subtle bodies react greatly to your stress patterns, emotional wounds, and your strengths and potential for fear where you're moving through and what your soul is experiencing. So when something feels off, it usually shows up in the energy field before the mind can articulate it. Crystals interact with this auric field through vibratory resonance, similar to a tuning fork causing another tuning fork to vibrate to the same frequency. When your energy is chaotic, inconsistent, or blocked, a crystal's stability helps gently guide you back into coherence. So if ever you've worked with tuning forks, you'll know that if you tap a tuning fork at the note of C and you hold another tuning fork that you haven't tapped, the C vibration will get the second tuning fork to vibrate at the same frequency because of its ability to vibrate. So here's how subtle energy affects daily life. So morning mood. Some mornings feel light and expansive while others feel heavy. Not just sleep but energetic residue. So crystals that can clear that from your energy field are crystals like clear quartz, kyanite, amethyst or selenite when you sweep them through your auric field. Decision making. When we have a clear mind, it's easy to make decisions, but when we have a congested mind, it's very difficult. So feeling intuitively drawn to something rather than analyzing it, crystals that will help you are pyrite and labradorite. Relationships. Every connection in a relationship, no matter what the relationship is an energetic exchange. Rose quartz helps keep your heart open and nurtured, whereas rhodonite can help heal hurts of the heart. Now, rhodochrosite, which actually gets mixed up quite easily with rhodonite, is an even better crystal for relationships because quite often we mentally assimilate a person in a relationship with the inner sensation created by the energetic exchange. So mentally, you start to assimilate that the person has created the reaction, when in actual fact it's your energetic exchange that's created the reaction. So if you don't see the person and you choose not to interact with that person because it's creating an uncomfortable feeling with you, you may then, because your soul wants that lesson, attract somebody else who creates that same vibration. And what rhodochrosite does is it aids the understanding of the experience of the energy when the interaction happens, rather than saying, you make me feel X, Y, or Z. X, Y, or Z is your soul's experience. And X, Y, and Z have been unearthed within you for you to do some sitting, connecting to, finding out what's going on, relaxing into, and allowing things to find a harmony and an understanding, a deeper understanding of what that resonance has been triggered within you is saying to you. Work and mental focus. Mental clutter is energetic clutter, so fluorite and tiger's eye support concentration and clarity. Because fluorite has a cubic mineral structure, it also offers the ability to create order. So you may notice that if you work with fluorite, you become more organized and efficient in your daily duties, and that you do so being more relaxed and aligned with the flow. I just love fluorite. Tiger's eye aids precision of focus. So when our focus splits, so does our awareness. And as our energy is awareness, that means we are leaking energetically and not creating with mindfulness. When we are mindful and we are in the creative frequency, it is the most powerful energy that you can have, and it will reap great rewards. It will improve your physical energy, it helps the productivity, it brings abundance on all levels. So when you create with a mind full of creative energy, you are in love with what you do, the outcome is aligned accordingly. So how crystals fit into the picture? Crystals are formed under immense pressure, heat, and time, giving them a highly stable internal structure. In the human energy field, it fluctuates. We have moods, we have stress, we have environmental issues, thoughts, and hormones. Crystals maintain a consistent vibration and acting like energetic tuning forks that guide your aura gently back into balance. Crystals don't force change, they support it, offering stability where you feel unstable, clarity where you feel foggy, and grounding where you are scattered. A simple, subtle energy check-in. Sit comfortably with your eyes closed and feel the space around you. Become observant of the sensations that are in your body. And notice your breathing. Now imagine your aura as a gentle glow. Does it feel bright, cloudy, heavy, or spacious? Don't have any judgment, just put awareness on it. Awareness is the first step in working consciously with subtle energy. So thank you for listening today. Just in conclusion, a summary. Subtle energy is the foundation of emotional balance, mental clarity, intuition, and well-being. Understanding it opens the door to working more consciously with crystals, not as a superstition, but as an energetic companion. Stay tuned for the next episodes and discussions in our series of Crystals and the Subtle Energy of Life, where we'll explore how crystals interact with your aura. Thank you for joining me today. If you've enjoyed this episode, please share it or leave a review. It helps more people discover subtle energy and crystals. Until next time, take a deep breath, stay grounded, stay open and connected.